Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Sunday, July the 19th. Race number 9 at Saratoga. It's the Grade 2 Lake Placid Stakes. 3-year-old fillies going 9 furlongs on the inner turf. Before we get to the analysis, let me remind you to head on over to DRF's dedicated Saratoga landing page for the Saratoga handicapping shop. PPs, picks, clocker reports, betting strategies, and lots more. Learn more at drf.com/spa. Here is the field for the Grade 2 Lake Placid. Remember that you can download free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. We were talking before the video started rolling, Mike, and we thought this was a very competitive race. You can make a case for most of them.
Yeah, I think it is a pretty well-matched group here, Dan, and it does sort of feel like the mile and an eighth distance is going to come into play here, and trips are going to come into play here.
Speak to me if Summer might be able to get a good trip breaking from the inside post. Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector for this race. They got Cat's Pajamas out there on the early lead from the outside post, and Cat's Pajamas has some speed. I could see that. I think Blame Debbie should be ridden aggressively. I think that would be probably her best chance of winning. She's a very solid contender in her own right. But speak to me of Summer. I think Timeform has it right. Nice mid-pack spot. I'm happy they're taking the blinkers off. Last time out, they put him on off of a win, and it was almost as if they wanted to get close to the pace. She didn't break well. She ended up in a good spot in the pocket, and she was just outrun late. I think she probably needed that race, and she might have been in a bit tough.
Yeah, that was just to me anyway, that was just a tougher race than this one was. The pace was extremely slow for those kinds of horses. And speak to me as Summer did get into a good position because they were walking early. But the winner of that race just kicked on home way too fast for her. She was no factor. She can do better, Dan. She's second off the layoff here. I did like both of her races last year as a 2-year-old on turf. And I really do feel like the added distance might work better for her than some of the other horses in here.
Here's Blame Debbie, the number 2, just missed last time out at Belmont. We'll take a look at that race. They were traveling 1.25 miles. She broke really sharp, and Joel Rosario took back and off of the lead, and she's eventually going to make the lead in here, and she's going to dig down deep. She's just going to finish third, beaten the neck. Do you think Joel should have went on with it in the early portion of this race?
I didn't have any problem with the ride he gave her. I thought she ran fine in this race. It was certainly a big improvement over her Florida Oaks, where she just basically did no running at all. She was a little wide in that race, but she didn't run at all that day. She did improve last time. The horse that beat her came back and won the River Memories last week at Belmont. So that sort of, flatters this horse a little bit. I can't say that I love her, Dan, but she'll get the distance, and she does feel like she improved last time.
The American Pharaoh filly's up next, the number 3, La Shara. And I thought La Shara had a trip. We'll watch it later when taking a look at the Cat's Pajamas race. But she was just near the back of the pack. She never really got clear. She was in and among horses. And finally, when she did get clear late, she came with a late kick. And she's so lightly raced. I think she's going to improve. I'm not worried about the 1 1/8. 4-1 on the morning line. Maybe I'd need her to tick up a little bit. But I think if you give her some pace, she's going to come running.
Yeah, I like both of her turf races. I do feel like, it's a valid way to look at her last race, to just think she got a little unlucky there. And maybe ultimately you could say she was best. I did think that was a strong allowance field too. So there are things to like about her, Dan. I really liked her turf debut when she won down at Gulfstream too, because she had a trip that day and overcame it to win. I think I'm a little more concerned about the distance with her than you are, and we'll just see how it all plays out. She'd buy American Pharaoh, obviously. You feel like that's fine. The Dam, though, she was a good horse, but she did not want to go this far.
Queen's Embrace is up next. This is a former $16,000 maiden claimer. All she's done is she has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of her last 6, including this race at Monmouth. Now winners of 1 other than. She rolled by this field. Now she got a good setup. The pace was solid, but here she is on the far outside, 4 wide, 5 path, and she just blows by these horses. She's going to have to do better against tougher horses, but she certainly deserves an opportunity at this level.
Yeah, I won't knock her recent form. It's obviously good. She won this race very easily. This was not a good field of horses that she beat. The horse that you saw there on the lead, who just failed to last for second, was 80-1 in there, just has no form at all. So this filly wasn't beating anything, and she's taking a huge step up in class here.
As is the 5, Key Biscayne at 15-1 on the morning line. At a mini 2-race streak, snapped last time out against open non-winners of one other. Then didn't think she had the greatest trip in that race, but both of her wins have come against Florida-bred competition, and she's up against it from a class standpoint.
Yeah, I just thought this was probably going to be too tough for her.
Stunning Sky, the 6, her lack of speed really works against her at times. She's probably going to be last in the early portion of this race, and thus is pace and trip dependent. I thought she was very conservatively ridden in the Regret last time out. Again, I know she doesn't have a lot of pace, but she was sort of just last down towards the inside. Tyler Gaffalione was trying to pick his way through, and Stunning Sky made up a little bit of late ground against that good field. I think she's solid. She just needs pace. If you give her pace, you're going to know Stunning Sky late.
Yeah, it's all about trip for her. We'll see if it sets up the right way, and then we'll see if she can get a clean run. I'll admit, Dan, that I liked her form at Gulfstream over the winter. I thought she ran some sneaky good races down there. Even her Honey Rider 2 starts back was not bad at all against a good field. So we'll see. I think she's a good fit in this race. Would I love to take 3-1 on her in this race? Probably not, but I'm not going to be surprised when she runs well.
Mirabelle May is the number 7, stepping up in class. She ran in the Florida Oaks last time out. She didn't run particularly well in that race down towards the inside in a race without much pace. Her prior effort at Tampa was good. She's going to have to improve for a sharp trainer in Johnny Terranova.
Yeah, she's just going to have to take a step forward, but she's so lightly raced. I won't be surprised if she can do it. No match for the Florida Oaks field. She didn't run terrible in there. She didn't run great either. Worth noting at least that she broke her maiden going this distance. So you don't have to worry about her getting the mile in an eighth, and she's got upside.
Cat's Pajamas, ever since Graham Motion got her on the turf, she has blossomed. A big price maiden winner, and then she came back with this score over Lashara. Let's watch the stretch drive and analyze it a lit. Cat's Pajamas is on the outside. She had a pretty nice trip. Lashara's right in behind her. Lashara's the 3. Cat's Pajamas is the 5. Cat's Pajamas is going to wear down the leaders. Lashara still isn't really clear, Mike. Going to try to alter course to the outside again, and now she's going to make it close. I thought Cat's Pajamas was very game.
I did too. She ran well in this race. Listen, the horse that ran second, Lashara, was in tight through most of the stretch. I mean, if you watch the head on, she had room, for about the last, maybe inside the last eighth of a mile, and just couldn't get there. She was a little unlucky. Listen, I'll just say this about Cat's Pajamas, Dan. She's going to get another good trip in this race. She's bred for turf, so I don't think it's that surprising that she's improved a lot since they switched her over, and I don't have any problems with her getting the mile and an eighth. All those things sort of conspire to make her, in my opinion, the horse to beat in this race. But she was 27-1, and then she was almost 8-1 last time, and now she's going to be the favorite. That's enough for me to take a shot against her in this race, but I very much respect her.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at our top selections for Sunday's race of the day, the Lake Placid. Speak to me of Summer. Second off the layoff, good tactical speed. She showed a lot of ability as a 2-year-old. I think Christophe Clement will have her ready. I probably underestimated her. I went with Stunning Sky. I think she's going to try to come widest and fastest here.
Yeah, I'm afraid of Stunning Sky. I'm afraid of Cat's Pajamas, and I'm afraid of Lashara too. I think Lashara is going to run really well in here, but I think Speak to Me of Summer might actually be a fair price, and I do think this is class relief.
Really fun race. The Grade 2 Lake Placid, your Sunday race of the day. 1368 for Mike, 6823 for me. Approximate post time, 5:46 Eastern. Good luck.